Ancestors protect me.
May they protect you.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
I'm a ready Teddy.
Well, get bent, turkey.
Enough.
Hey, I'm a child of divorce. Give me a break.
Potatoes.
But you know what's on my mind right now? It ain't the coffee in my kitchen.
Forget about it.
They're called harpulary batteries.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you.
Hey, I'm a nice guy.
That is a very deep cut.
Welcome to the Deep Cut Movie Review Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan, and I'm joined by my very good friend,
Armand here for you. April Fools for you guys, because last week we said this one would be
Spider-Man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a little surprise, a little change up. We're doing The Odyssey.
Mm-hmm. Christopher Nolan's epic.
And epic it was.
Mm-hmm. Before we get into the movie, shout out to our newest Deep Cut crew member. We got Max Almaraz as our audio engineer, editor, mix master.
Nasty boy.
Yeah, all inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
And he reached out to us to offer his service and his help to make the show sound better for you, the listener. So if you notice a significant change in audio quality for this episode and future episodes, that's because of our boy Max. So please give him some praise and glaze in the comments. And thank you, Max.
Max dog. Row.
Also, before we get into the movie, let's talk about Mr. Christopher Nolan and his little filmography that he's got going on. So I've been a Nolan fan since Batman Begins. I saw that movie at like a drive-in movie theater somewhere in Tennessee with my dad. And at the time, I think I was too young to know and be familiar with like directors and stuff like that. So I didn't know that was a Christopher Nolan movie until probably like The Dark Knight, which I think I also saw also in Tennessee with my dad for the first time. When we were going to watch The Odyssey, I was telling you about how me and my friends in high school waited outside in line until midnight for the release of The Dark Knight Rises. I also told you I watched Interstellar on 35 millimeter. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And during the pandemic, when they released Tenet, my fiance and I, we like drove out to one of the few movie theaters that were open so we could watch that. So yeah, I've been a big Christopher Nolan fan for a long time. What about you? How familiar are you with his work, and what do you think of his movies?
Yeah, so I haven't seen all of his movies. Probably the earliest memory I have, at least in theaters, is The Dark Knight Rises, which, funny enough, I saw in Hawaii.
Oh, cool. That's sick.
Yeah, I was on a vacation with my family, and me and my brother were like convincing our parents, like, yo, let's go see it. It just came out. And they're like, well, we could go see that at home.
Yeah.
I was like, but we could tell all our friends we saw it in Hawaii.
Yeah.
It was like this whole thing. But yeah, and seeing that, it was awesome. It wasn't until actually maybe like a few years ago to where like I really started getting much more involved in film and like taking note of director names and all that stuff, and like really diving deep into and finding the directors that I like really like. So Christopher Nolan, like, I haven't seen all his movies, so the only ones that I'm like truly familiar with is the Dark Knight trilogy, Memento, which was a really cool one, and like Interstellar, which I actually just saw for the first time, just last night, and boy, I am hooked on this man's storytelling.
Yes. Yeah.
Because Interstellar, off the bat, is probably like one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. I like that I've ever seen. So, and just from that, like I'm a huge sci-fi guy. Yeah, so I'm really hooked, and especially with seeing the Odyssey now. I'm very excited to dive more into his work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really don't think that he has a bad movie. You know, like I have movies that I like more than others, and I think a lot of his fans can like kind of agree and disagree on
Which is better?
Yeah, which one's better and stuff. So I do have a ranking if you
Yeah,
want to hear it.
love to.
Bottom to top at number 13, I'm going Insomnia. Personally, I think it's the least Christopher Nolan movie of his filmography. But next up at number 12 would be Following. It was his first feature film. Next up at number 11 would be The Dark Knight Rises, because I think it's like the weakest of the Dark Knight, or just, the Dark Knight trilogy and his Batman movies. Then at number 10, Batman Begins. And number 9, Oppenheimer. Number 8, Dunkirk. And then I think I'm putting The Odyssey at number 7 within his filmography.
Ooh.
And then right above that, number 6, I'd put Memento. Then followed with The Dark Knight at number 5. 4 would be Inception. And then now we're in top 3 territory. Tenet at number 3. The Prestige at number 2. And Interstellar at number 1.
Nice.
Yeah. So I highly recommend you dive deeper into his filmography, because especially The Prestige.
For sure, like the Dunkirk and Prestige were on the top of my list for his movies.
Yeah, I think you'll really like those. The one I think you'll probably like the least is probably Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and I kind of felt that way even like before seeing it. That's why I didn't see it, because like even like the other ones like Dunkirk or Prestige or like Inception, those still like captured my interest. This was just kind of before like I was like really diving into movies. But Oppenheimer, this was during the time where I was already like really watching a lot more film. But I don't know, it just seemed
it's a movie about science.
And you could even classify it as like almost like biopic realm.
Oh, it 100% is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was never interested in biopics in general.
So. Yeah.
And I went to go see Barbie instead.
Yeah. But I think it's worth a watch, just from like the performances in the movie, like Cillian Murphy, Robert Downey Jr.,
Florence Pugh's breasts.
Yes, you do see Florence Pugh's breasts.
Pretty sweet. How'd you feel about that?
I mean, I thought how brave of her to do that, and also I think that's like one of the first times Christopher Nolan has had like nudity in one of his movies. I'm pretty sure. So
I know. Well, actually, no.
I think maybe in Memento there's
Memento
nudity, but
exactly
not in that context. So
what a sweet man.
That's cool. Yeah.
What a sweet man you are.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Christopher Nolan. Like, what a sweet man doing that for all of us. Florence, you have to do it. It's in the script. At the premiere for Oppenheimer, he's just like high-fiving everyone. It's like,
you did it.
Yeah. We get to see him. But let's get into the movie.
All right, yeah.
So what did you think of The Odyssey?
Fantastic. It was just a beautiful piece of an epic journey and storytelling, with themes of just like that we can relate back to our own society now as just like as people and just as just A society in general. Like,
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's funny. I also in my notes put down epic and beautiful because yeah, just the cinematography, the locations, sets, wardrobe, props, all of it worked so well together to create this like immersive world, you know, but at the same time through like I guess how the story's told, the characters, and I guess more specifically the dialogue. Um, there's kind of a like contemporary lens
for sure.
that we as the audience are able to view this story through. Like there's a couple F bombs
Yeah.
throughout the movie
Yeah.
that when those hit, I was like, I don't know if those would be like period accurate, you know?
No, 100%.
But they still fit the characters and like the situation and like the emotion behind what's going on for us as a modern audience to like easily digest the dialogue and like understand the emotions of what's going on in the scene.
Yeah, I agree. Like the dialogue, and I know that's one of the like pieces of like Backlash. Like a lot of people are talking about it not being accurate and whatnot. And I will say, like when we first jump into the movie and hearing the dialogue, it was a little jarring for me, at least. Like especially with just knowing the setting and the set design and everything. But it's something that like I just easily forgot about like pretty right away.
Yeah, same. Yeah. And then all of the like action sequences of the film or like just intense moments I thought were very well executed. There's a lot of stuff that like had me I guess like on the edge of my seat, so to speak, or got me to like lean in closer in my chair. And for sure, all of the ocean ship scenes just reinforced my fear of being stranded in the ocean. And yeah, Christopher Nolan has done it once again. Let's get into dislikes first before we get into likes. What did you not like about this movie?
So, for my not necessarily dislikes, but I did want to mention again, going back to like the dialogue, it did feel a little jarring, like when it began, but easily worked past that. Throughout the movie, and maybe this is on the audience, not necessarily the movie, but like because obviously, or as we know, that this is like one of the or is the first film to like completely be filmed on IMAX, not on the IMAX lens and ratio. So like there was times where I was thinking like, dang, like I wonder what was in that extra piece.
Yes.
Which usually isn't anything crazy, right? It was still very focused on what is happening during that scene.
But technically you are watching a cropped movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was only really like one time that like kind of I was like, oh yeah, I definitely needed to kind of see more of what was happening there, which was in the Cyclops part when they were like escaping and like crawling with the sheep, and he's already blind at this point, so his hand is just dangling, just feeling them as they go out. There was like a couple parts where because it's just a really tight kind of scene, so it was just like I felt like dang, like I definitely could have or needed to like
have that much more room on the screen.
Yeah.
To see more of the image. Yeah.
And then besides that, there's like two kind of parts in the story that are just like a little confusing, which is like the Agamemnon. We're gonna be butchering these names throughout this whole thing. But Agamemnon's wife, and John Bernthal's character, Melinas, which I'm probably saying wrong. His wife, which was played by, what's her name again?
Lupita Nyong'o.
That's right. Kind of like their whole backstory was a little confusing. The whole stick draft thing with Robert Pattinson's character and Antinous. and Elliot Page's character Sion or Sinan.
Sinon, yeah.
Yeah, Sinan. A little confusing. The Sinan and Antinous thing obviously clears up at the end.
Yeah.
That was kind of meant to be a twist, if you will. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Because that was something that we had to talk about after the movie to like establish and make clear was like, because I couldn't tell whatever details were on like the little sticks that they drew. Maybe we could have used that extra screen space for that. I'm just joking. But yeah, I was kind of confused on that too because Antinous, he's like telling everyone that he volunteered for the Trojan War, but Odysseus told him like, no, you stay behind. In all actuality, Antinous was like basically like pussying out of being drafted into the war and got Sinon drafted instead, who right at the beginning of the movie dies.
Yeah.
Which I was not expecting. I was not expecting Elliot Page's character to like immediately get
skewered onto the horse.
Yeah, my only dislike was Travis Scott being in this movie. And to elaborate on that, he's already a successful rapper, right? What he does in this movie, literally, like, there's probably more than 100 other actors that could have done that.
Yeah.
So I just think him being in this movie is a little bit hyped up or like overhyped. I know that this isn't the first time that Christopher Nolan has like
had a musician.
Yeah, because he's had Harry Styles in Dunkirk.
Yeah.
But at the time, Christopher Nolan didn't know about like One Direction or Harry Styles or like any of that stuff. He just thought he was just another actor, kind of thing. So he didn't cast him because of that. So I don't know if it's the same situation with Travis Scott, but
what I heard is that he was cast because of that, or like, and something he said about like rappers being like the modern like poets or storytellers, which
that's interesting.
I'm completely paraphrasing, but
that makes sense because like he's the one that opens up the movie,
and he's reciting the original text.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And this whole movie is basically like people retelling a story or Odysseus remembering something that happened. So that makes sense.
Yeah, so like in the meta context, I think that's kind of definitely what he was intending.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then yeah, I don't know.
But either way, I do agree. I didn't even know that was him. I didn't even know what he looked like. I don't listen to his music. So at the end, I was just like, oh, so that was Travis Scott. So it didn't really bother me at all, honestly. I do agree that, yeah, you know, I'm always up for giving somebody lesser known a spotlight. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like he was also part of like me kind of getting that kind of jarring feeling in the beginning with the dialogue. But again, I guess it's, you know, it's through a specific kind of modern lens anyway, so
yeah. But that makes a lot of sense with the modern poet thing. I didn't know that Christopher Nolan said that. So
somebody said it, maybe you don't know.
Yeah.
All right, and now as for the things we liked about the movie, which we're just going to start at the beginning because it is a 2 hours and 53-minute long film.
Yeah,
Epic
pretty much
piece.
3 hours. Yeah.
So right off the bat from the beginning, I'm even go talk about the Universal logo.
Oh yeah, and the Syncopy logo with like the Bronze Age kind of aesthetic applied to it. Yeah.
See, so I didn't notice that one, but the Universal logo one I did notice. The lightning within the clouds. And I guess apparently though it started on kind of like the Mediterranean area.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah, so I noticed that, and then we go into the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first thing I really liked was the Cyclops scene. Just that whole sequence, like how they made the Cyclops look, the lighting in that whole cave. Yeah, just how they pulled off all the practical effects in that. Like you can tell that there's like some visual effects stuff in there, but for the most part, what you see is like the practical elements. And like I feel like they did some forced perspective stuff. I know they like built some like giant pieces of like the hands and stuff like that for like doing like puppeteering.
Yeah, I think all of Troy was like a miniature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or one of the cities. It was I think maybe even both of them. But.
Oh, damn, that's cool. Yeah. So yeah, just that whole sequence, the scene when specifically they heat up that stick to poke out the Cyclops' eye. Yeah, it's just...
It was awesome.
Yeah. It was awesome, but at the same time, I feel bad for the Cyclops because, like, he's just doing his thing in his cave and...
These little ants come into his home, start eating his shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so... and the part when, like, he's just, like, screaming in pain, yeah, that was, like...
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say scary, but just, like, there's like an intensity to it.
It's like haunting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then the next thing that I liked was the giant army. Specifically like how they come across the giant army with like the kid who is like adult man size.
Yes. That's exactly that was the first thing I saw or thought when we saw him. And they're like, "Oh, it's just a kid." I was like, "That's a big ass fucking kid."
Yeah.
And then he just starts screaming and runs off. And then it clicked. I was like, "Oh, this is the Island of Giants."
Yeah.
And they just come and just start fucking destroying everybody.
Yeah. Throwing people into trees, like.
And there was definitely a mythical element with the trees too. I don't know if that's like in the story.
Yeah, I noticed that too. That like
they
were
moving
like
around,
shifting and moving around, and like trapping them, and yeah. I wonder what that's all about.
Well, I would assume it's part of the story.
It's just a magical land.
Yeah, he definitely kept to the source material the perfect amount.
Yeah.
You know? So trying to keep this kind of chronologically, after the Giants is when we go back to Troy with Odysseus is reminiscing on them actually taking the gate, and that whole thing was just super tense and just awesome when
all of them packed inside the horse.
Yeah, and then this is also before we hear it from John Bernthal's side, jumping up, I guess, to when he retells it, the fact that about them being like in the horse and like people dying in there and pissing and shitting.
Yeah,
like that was an awesome detail, something like you don't think about, right?
Yeah, because like, did you hear about the Trojan horse thing like in like high school or like growing up and stuff?
Definitely, and like it's for, you know, the movie Troy too and all that.
And like never once did I ever think about like the drowning aspect with it being like on the beach and stuff and like the tide coming in.
Well, it's technically, actually, I think in the stories and in the it's never on the beach.
Yeah, no, but for this context in the Odyssey, but that and then also the piss and shit thing. Yeah, and also the idea of like getting sealed up in that horse, and then just waiting there for days of like, all right, maybe they're gonna show up now and take this thing into the city. So I agree with you. That whole sequence and like just everything with the horse is awesome, even before the John Bernthal stuff where he's like telling the tale of what it was like on the inside kind of thing. But seeing like all the people like haul the horse into the city was sick. And I love how, because during that whole bit, the whole time I was just thinking like they're scratching the shit out of one side of that thing. hauling this thing in there. But I like when they do hoist it up. One side of it is like scratched up from it's
And
a voyage.
It's the side that is facing like the pillars, so you don't see it as much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole scene, and then just the action, and then them like fighting to open the gate, and then once it opens up, we just got that shot of my boy Agamemnon, just aura farming.
With like all the soldiers behind him, like he's standing still, and everyone's just like storming into the city. Yeah,
awesome.
I thought that was tight too. Yeah.
And then from that point, the movie goes. I think that's when we go to Cersei.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was not expecting them to go that route.
Yeah,
like
deeping more into the fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. And like her like sculpting their face in
my favorite fucking sequence of the entire movie.
Oh, really?
I fucking loved that.
Yeah, I was not expecting that at all. So didn't scare me or like horrify me or anything, but it was like, oh shit. Like,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
Just the way they did it was just literally just like clay, and then like,
oh dude, when she like reaches into that dude's throat.
Awesome.
Oh man. Yeah. And like the setup for that whole thing is like from the crew's perspective is kind of stupid, because like she tells them like leave your armor and weapons outside, and then one of the dudes like sees a bunch of other like people's armor and stuff.
Better
for me
do what she says.
That'd be an huge red flag of like, okay, so clearly people have done this before and not been able to put their armor back on for some reason.
Yeah,
maybe I should keep mine on and just I'll wait outside, but
no, I completely agree. That I thought was like a little silly.
I think it would have been cool if like maybe instead, while because there's that cool reveal that Odysseus has when he's like hunting the deer or whatever.
It's just a guy.
Yeah, it would have been cool if like maybe somewhere in like cutting back and forth between that, like he's the one that discovers like discarded armor from past.
I think that would have definitely made more sense.
Yeah.
It was like a pitfall.
Yeah.
Like some shit like that.
Yeah, with like just a huge pile of armor and stuff. Yeah, it'd be cool.
And they did see the wrecked boats as soon as they land.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. See, I feel like that would have made the crew a little less stupid. But then it also ties in, like the crew's stupid the whole movie.
Yeah.
Because
they're also hungry.
That is very true. Yeah. Because there is that part, kind of jumping ahead, when what's the dude from Hades that like tells Odysseus that like
he is the guy who says the prophecy, right?
Yes, yeah.
Thaban Seer to I know I'm butchering the last part.
But that dude.
The blind Thaban Seer, and then Tiresias is his name.
Okay.
But he is the blind Thaban Seer.
Okay. That guy.
Yeah. With the do-rag.
Yeah, with the low do-rag. Yeah. He says that if Odysseus's men eat from the sun god's island or something, that they'll be like cursed and like guaranteed to die.
Yeah. And
they cave. Like, even though they knew about it, like they caved. And what I thought was so kind of interesting is like when they first show up, there's like a ton of cattle like just waiting, basically waiting for them.
And there's like, hey boys.
But I liked how this movie kind of like shows that weird duality between like, I guess like divinity and just coincidence, because like a way you can interpret it is like through like their mythological, this is the god's island, and they influence the winds and stuff like that. But then you can also view things from just a like realist
Yes.
scientific thing of like gods didn't put those cattle there, and like it wouldn't have mattered if they ate from that island or not, because
It would have been destroyed anyway.
yeah, in that storm.
Yeah. And that's a part that actually I forgot to mention, going back to the Cyclops,
Mhm.
about them saying like, oh, that was the son of Poseidon. I heard him praying to Poseidon. And then literally Odysseus mentions, when he's retelling the story, about how like now every like harsh wave and harsh wind, the whole crew thought it was Poseidon cursing them. You know? And so it's just their
superstition, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I thought was like really fascinating, is like the depiction of gods and how the characters within the story like interpret things within nature being associated with the gods. Like Agamemnon sacrificing his daughter. I'm assuming he like threw her in the ocean or something.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
But it was to have favorable winds and stuff.
On
and
their
that's
journey.
Yeah, and that's like in like a modern lens of, we have like a weather app on our phones and stuff, like that's pretty crazy to think that someone would sacrifice their own child in hopes that it's pleasing some sort of god or deity to give them some good winds.
And the way Odysseus describes it as like, the greater the sacrifice, the more reward from that, right? But also, and then how Penelope was like saying how horrible that is, and then Odysseus is like, it's committed, like it just shows how committed he is to this and everything too.
Yeah.
And then also like literally throughout the whole movie, like every time we're hearing thunder, is like the characters are kind of like wary of it, and like it's always happening during certain points to kind of like be that personification of Zeus. And in the beginning,
that scene with Tom Holland when he's talking about like the beggar, and then after, because there's like that thunder clap, and then later the beggar is like, that was just luck.
Yes. So there's that. And then also when Calypso, Charlize Theron's character, is talking to Odysseus, in the very beginning, before we realize that she's like trapped him there, he's still kind of like in the trying to figure out, oh, like I've forgotten something or something like that. And there's thunder, and then her character Calypso's like notices it, and then like that's when she starts to kind of be like, okay, we need to get you out of here. And because in the story, in the actual story, Athena and Zeus later finding out that she's trapped him there, and they're not okay with it. They want her to let him go. So yeah, and then after Circe, that's when Circe tells Odysseus about Hades and prophecy and kind of stuff like that. That's when they go there.
Yeah, that whole sequence is awesome.
Yeah.
Like the part when all the soldiers are coming up from the ground, I thought that just visually just looked awesome. And like I had seen a thing prior to watching the movie about, they did all that practical, like all of those, like they like buried stunt performers, and then each stunt performer had like basically like a buddy, like for like safety purposes, and like everyone had their own individual cues on like when to come up from the ground. But yeah, all together it looked awesome, and that whole location looked sick.
I especially loved the blind Theben Seer. I loved his design and the do-rag, but I just thought it was really cool how he came out, and it was just kind of like the top half of him, and he's like just talking to him, and telling the whole prophecy. Just the look of it was just so cool.
And also, like, them getting into, I guess, like, the mechanics of, like, ritual and stuff, of, like, they, like, you know, dig the ditch thing and then lay down the shield, spill the goat's blood, and then when the undead army shows up, before they speak, they all, like, take a sip of the goat's blood. Yeah. So I thought that was some cool, like, type of, like, world building, or, like, without them having, like, a character that is explaining the ritual to, like, some other character while they're doing it or something. Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, they're just doing it.
Yeah, they're just doing it and you're just taking it all in and piecing it together.
Yes. This is also the point in the story where, like, Odysseus is, like, truly, like, starting to realize and, like, face, like, his own guilt, and just, like, start to process, like, what's going on with him and the world around him. Because up until this point, he was still kind of, I can't think of the word, but, like, an example of, like, shooting the Cyclops with an arrow before leaving.
There's a little bit of arrogance in him. Yeah.
And, like, they pillaged that one place for supplies.
Yeah.
And so all that, and, like, now we're starting to see him realize that, like, what he's done.
Yeah. And before we get to the scene of, like, what he's really done, because that is one of the things I liked about this movie. The hunting dog, when they, like, leave when they leave him out front, like, to, like, wait for Odysseus to come back, and then when he does come back, like, once Odysseus puts his hand on him, his tail wags a little bit, and then he dies.
Yeah.
Like, he was just living for his master to return.
Yeah.
And that, like, in the theater made me, like, emotional. Like, I didn't fall and cry or anything, but I did feel the tears kind of welling up in me.
Yeah.
So I thought that was, like, a really, like, just beautiful touch. Yeah, and then just the whole depiction of the gods and other mythical, fantastical elements within the story, I thought were really cool. Yeah, lastly, it would be the Athena statue beheading. I love how Zendaya's character, Athena, is, like, I guess almost like a ghost that's, like, haunting him throughout the whole movie, Odysseus.
And up until that point, we don't really make that connection.
Yes.
You know?
But I love when it would be Athens is getting, like, raided and stuff after they, like, open the gates and stuff. Because at that point, it's just, like, pillaging and anarchy, and Odysseus sees someone, like one of his soldiers, behead the statue of Athena. And it's, like, intercut with Zendaya's character, like, being held by soldiers, and implied that, like, she's also getting beheaded at the same time. And I like how it's kind of open to interpretation of, like, because earlier in the movie, Tom Holland talks about how gods hide in human form.
Yeah.
So during that whole raid, I wonder if Zendaya's character was, like, really there and was, like, a victim of the whole raid and all that stuff, or if that's just a, like, personification of the god Athena being beheaded and, like,
now haunting him after.
Yeah, now haunting him. Because Athena is the god of wisdom, strategic warfare, and crafts. And Odysseus has that line where he, like, feels guilty about tricking people with the Trojan horse. He has that thing where he says, like, I presented them a gift that they brought into their home. You know, like, betraying what a gift is supposed to mean and represent.
Betraying Zeus's law.
Yeah, betraying Zeus's law.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole realization at the end of the movie of, like, he's been maybe like subconsciously avoiding going back home because he is afraid of like his home reflecting
what he's done.
And
And he did, and what he started, because it's like, and throughout the whole movie, there's this talked about threat of the sea people, right? But the sea people are them.
Yep.
It's people. It's human beings tricking and each other and destroying Zeus's law, which is to, basically treat others as you want to be treated, right? If somebody comes in your home, you welcome them.
Give them hospitality.
Yeah. And we see throughout the whole movie of them taking advantage of that, pillaging people, all the suitors going into Penelope's home and eating their food, and
Yeah. Even Odysseus and his men eating the Cyclops' cheese.
Exactly. Yep. And he's like that. And then again, it wasn't until like the prophecy and like him actually starting to realize that and going through and hearing the siren song where he
it was like he talks about or describes it as like hearing all of his failures, like all the things that he's like wanted and stuff like that.
And has had, and that the realization of him not wanting to go back home. And just that whole scene is really cool, but I couldn't help to laugh because my mind is in the gutter when he's like screaming on the pillar. He's just like, oh god, he's just like coming to like these beautiful sounds.
I thought that was a bit funny too, because once they put the wax in their ears,
which was really cool too.
The audio gets all muffled, and then it cuts to Matt Damon tied to a pole, just and then that devolves into just screaming, and I still thought it was a cool scene.
No, it was an awesome scene.
Yeah,
it's just I laugh at everything.
Yeah, I chuckled a little bit too. Yeah.
And then, but also the fact that we as the audience, we didn't hear the song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so cool.
And then right after that, there's the tidal wave, and then they go into the other part, and then again, this is where he's like, you could, because at this point he's just sitting in the boat, like he's like not even like fighting anymore, right? And he knows what's going to happen, and he's making these decisions to keep them alive, even though some will die on the way. Yeah. Oh yeah, and then that's when, after that weird monster thing, which was a very interesting design.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, at first I was really confused by it because it just came out of nowhere, like so I was like, while that whole like men were getting plucked away, I was like trying to figure out like, where is this thing coming from? But then you see it like
there's a little like nest or
and it like recoils in.
I know it has
on like the cliffside.
Scylla. God, I'm horrible. But yeah, cannibalistic cyclops, six-headed sea monster kind of thing.
Interesting.
So that's what it was. So yeah, it was an interesting design. I'm not gonna say it was definitely my favorite design.
I would say out of all the mythical elements within it, that was probably my least favorite design wise.
But this scene was cool. Them getting slayed again, and then and that's when they get to the island with the yummy seducing cows, and they the crew just couldn't help themselves, just like the blind Theban seer said,
prophesied that they would.
Yeah, and even Odysseus being like, "I'll save them," and he's like, "They can't save themselves," something like that. So, and then after all that, that's when That's when we find out he's trapped on
Calypso's Island.
yeah, Calypso's Island,
Mhm.
and he's just been getting fucking
High off of lotus leaves
Yeah,
or
he's
petals. Yeah.
just been shrooming out with some hot babe and,
Mm-hmm.
and taking advantage of him.
Mm-hmm.
He knew. He was like, oh, I don't know.
And do I have a wife? Do I have a son?
No, there's no way.
Yeah. How long has it been? Yeah.
Yeah, and then the drop of 7 years, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Literally, like his old technically his journey was only like 3 years, which is
Well,
fairly
13
average.
if you count the war,
Yeah,
because that's like a 10-year period.
yeah.
So,
But in
yeah.
terms of like going back home
mm-hmm.
and like them talking like Penelope and like Tom Holland's, how do you say his name again?
Oh, Telemachus.
Yeah, Telemachus. Them like talking about like other people returning from the war already and stuff like that. So it was only 2 years, but that fool was straight up just fucking getting high as shit for 7 years straight.
Hanging out on a beach. Yeah. A little stick hut.
Mm-hmm.
Which I also liked how I think it's when Tom Holland's character is talking to John Bernthal, or he's talking to someone, and someone like puts it in his mind that like Odysseus could possibly be kept as a prisoner, and then it cuts to Calypso's island and her little stick hut, and the way it's like framed and the way that the hut is made with like the sticks, it kind of resembles like a prison cell, you know, or like prison bars. So I thought that was a cool little detail.
Now we're getting into the last act. Now our boy Odysseus is fucking back home. Oh, and this is after Agumon.
Yeah.
When Agumon tells him to go back as a disguise, because when he went back, he just got killed because his wife, rightfully so, was upset about him throwing his daughter off of a cliff.
Yeah, and killed him. Waited till he like was out of his armor and like comfortable and vulnerable, and just stabbed him in the throat. Yeah.
But yeah, so now he's back. He sees what's going on, and the first character he sees is John Leguizamo's character, which I'm not even totally sure how to say his name.
I don't even remember what his name was.
Jimenez.
Yeah.
But seeing his character just being betrayed by the other guys, and now this is also when we finally see him at his limit, where he's like, "Oh, Odysseus isn't coming back," you know? And throughout the whole movie, he's been faithful, and
yeah, how poetic! Like right at his like giving up point is literally when Odysseus is back.
Yeah, awesome. And then the side plot of when Tom Holland's character is coming back and the priests take him. That whole sequence was awesome. I was so hyped when Odysseus like redirectioned the sword into the guy who like fucked up the other guy and just jammed it in his head. That was awesome. And then and that's when they go back and we get the beautiful scene with Argus. That's also when Tom Holland's character realizes that's Odysseus. Yeah, from this point on, it's just like, again, so awesome, very tense. And then we get the scene that I wanted to talk about with him talking to Penelope for the first time, still as the beggar. It's awesome. Like this is the one where I was getting like teary-eyed with like Penelope's reaction, especially with him describing the pin.
Yeah.
And then we see the servant like tending to his leg for some reason, and she sees the scar and realizing it's him, and just the look on her face of just
joy.
Yeah, joy, and then but holding it in, like she doesn't want it to be revealed yet. Awesome. And then that's when we see Athena. That's when he's retelling. That's when he's like confronting his guilt and like the whole thing with Athena. and we see her by his side, and she's crying. It's so good. Yeah, and then we go into the next parts. Another honorable mention is when Odysseus like confronts Antinous, and he like throws the stick on his plate, and it's so cool.
Calls him out,
and then he says his name is Sinan. So cool.
Yeah,
and just awesome.
Yeah, and also like forcing other people to see Robert Pattinson's character like break Zeus's law, because he like throws a stool or something at him and like tells him like, don't turn your back on me and all that. Yeah, I thought that was cool that like in the process of like breaking him down, like it's not as simple as like Odysseus coming back and like killing him with a sword, you know, like he like really breaks down Robert Pattinson's character.
Yeah, and also like testing them too, to kind of see what if these people are actually, you know, good people, but no, they were breaking Zeus's law themselves, like being shitty to this beggar. So
taking advantage of Penelope's like hospitality and all that.
Yeah, and then now we're in the final battle. This is when the servants all trust that this is Odysseus, and they hide all the weapons, and everyone's trying to do the bow. They can't do it, and then my boy does it, and then just hearing the ding from the bowstring, so satisfying. And then he does it, and then there's just silence. Well, and even as soon as he does the bowstring too, like Rob Pattinson's character already realizes like, oh shit, dude, he's already trying to get out.
Yeah. I love how Robert Pattinson's character is like, he's such a like weasel piece of shit. Like, he's just so good at like playing those types of characters. And it's crazy that he can also play like a hero character like Batman, you know, or Edward Cullen, you know.
Sparkly vampire.
Yeah.
But yeah, those scenes are probably my favorite. And then like once Corey Hawkins' character, Polybus, and then he's the one who's like, you're Odysseus, you're Odysseus, and then just to be met with an arrow in his throat.
Yeah. He doesn't. I don't even think he finishes the line, right?
Yeah, it's like cuts off right after he says it.
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious because that guy, like his character is just an asshole the whole movie. Like, but I have a thing. I'll get into that later. Yeah.
But and then we obviously all the good old action. Tom Holland's character, which I was scared. I was like, no way they're gonna die right now. But I was scared though. I was like, oh, maybe it could happen because we do get them both. See him getting stabbed a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then he finally does the move that Mentor taught him to slice that fool's neck, and it was great. It was a good action kind of climax, and finally seeing him like finally just take all these fools down.
Fuck up a whole room of guys. Yeah.
And then there's also there was a good amount of people that were like, yeah, fuck that. Just start kneeling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I also thought it was a cool like just element of the fight that like one of Antinous, like one of his goons or whatever, like gets up to the room where they have all the weapons hidden, and then like breaks through the floor to be able to like pass him down because he gets locked into that room.
Yeah.
So just throughout the fight, he's like dropping shields down and spears, and like the more shit he drops down for us as the audience, it's like, oh shit, this fight like went from, oh, he's for sure got this because he's the only one with a weapon in the room, to like, oh, I don't know. He's dropping a lot of shit down that hole.
This is getting it's just with every drop, it just the stakes were just getting higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then he fucking does. Oh, and then his last like monologue to Antinous' character before killing him. just shoves the stick in his mouth.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, fitting end for that character. But yeah, that basically is like the whole movie.
Yeah, that's kind of sums it up. I'm sure there's so much to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to really try to include everything. Try to kind of put a little bit of light on everything, but you know.
Yeah, I think it's a good amount. That kind of covers like the whole movie and what we liked about it.
Yeah, and then ends with Thaddeus is becoming king. So
yeah. What were some standout performances from this huge cast?
Definitely, like the leads for sure. Matt Damon and Hathaway were awesome. Awesome. A one that was a kind of a side lead. John Leguizamo. I can't say his name.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, the blind old man.
Yeah. I loved his performance might have been my favorite out of everybody.
Yeah,
like him, and then obviously Rob Pattinson. Like their both performances were like I think were awesome. I feel like they were the standouts because opposed to like Matt Damon and Anne Hathaway, like for sure. I mean, they're the leads for a reason, right?
Yeah,
they did an incredible job. But for the two side like characters to stand out like that, definitely those two, and also Corey Hawkins, Polybus. He was definitely a standout for me.
He's on my list as well. When an actor can like make me feel like I fucking hate you, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Corey Hawkins for sure, especially as just like a side character. And then, similar to you, Anne Hathaway, Robert Pattinson, and I thought Tom Holland did a really good job. Because, like, going into this movie, I thought that he was just going to be kind of like just playing, like, Peter Parker. But I think in an interview, he said that this movie feels like a coming-of-age movie for, like, his character. Definitely. And for him as an actor, it's like the last time that he's playing like a kid, or like
a
young adult. So with that in mind, I thought like what he does in this movie and the performance he gives like does show that exactly that there is a little bit of Peter Parker-ness in there, or just like that boyish performance thing, but there is like you can see the potential of like him becoming a man, so to speak.
Exactly.
And I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I thought he did good too. I just it didn't like necessarily stand out to me.
But. Yeah, I don't think he has any like really crazy emotional scenes to like show off something like acting chop wise, but as one of the leads, like he is I do think he carries a good portion of this film like as like a lead for his like portions of the film. Now let's get into some Backlash. I only really have two things. You kind of touched on one of them earlier
with the dialogue.
No, it was with the it being filmed in IMAX.
Oh yeah.
Which I do want to point out, like it is a cool achievement that they like made equipment that didn't exist to be able to film this thing entirely on IMAX.
Like, they made a whole new camera
and like a housing unit to like silence the crazy loud IMAX camera, and with like all the ship stuff, like having to haul that equipment. I saw a thing where like all the stuff for like the exterior of the Ithaca Palace, there's no like roads that go up there. So like crew members have to hike up there, cast members have to hike up there, and to get like the film IMAX cameras, like all the equipment, it has to be helicoptered and like dropped off. So like this movie on a technical level, like insane what they did with IMAX technology and shooting this whole thing on IMAX. The only issue is that there's only, I think in my notes I put that there's like 21 to 26 true IMAX theaters that can like present this movie in 70 millimeter, like the way that it was filmed, intended to be, shown.
Mm-hmm.
So for the average moviegoer, especially in like the Midwest of the United States, they're not going to have access to seeing it in its like intended form. And just for you guys to know, like you and I, we watched it in like a standard digital screening.
Yeah.
Like we didn't watch it in IMAX or anything. So there is like a cropping of the image that I agree with you. It's not like super distracting, but there were certain moments throughout the film, like with that in mind, where I was like, oh, this would have been so much cooler
on the IMAX.
Yeah, like just simple things like when he kneels before Agumon or Animangus, whatever his name is, because the camera like dips down to like a low angle, and it would have been cool in IMAX, like to just see the top of his little mohawk, whatever ponytail thing, because in the way we've watched it, it's like it cuts off, so just little things like that, or like the giant army. Like I know that there's some stuff that's getting cropped off just because of the scale of things. So, but nothing about it like ruined my experience.
Yeah.
It
doesn't take you out of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Aside from that, like the only other piece of backlash I wrote down was, I know people were pissed off about some of the casting choices with Lupita Nyong'o and Elliot Page, but after watching the movie, like I don't really think any of that backlash has any legs to stand on, because like we've said, like this is a
modern
telling, and also like an interpretation of a very ancient story. So similar to the dialogue, you have to keep things updated and modern. And I thought it was cool that Elliot Page is in this movie because, when they went by Ellen Page,
she was hot.
Yeah, and they were in Inception. So I like, and that kind of falls into Christopher Nolan, like always kind of using a lot of the same cast members, like Matt Damon or Himesh Patel. That's like Odysseus's like, I guess like right hand dude.
Yeah, okay.
Working with Robert Pattinson again, Anne Hathaway. Yeah, so I thought it was cool that like, because the only movie that Ellen Page did with Christopher Nolan was Inception, so I thought it's cool that,
they're included.
Yeah, that they're included. Yeah, and I feel like the performances that both of those actors give are great.
Yeah.
Like, Lupita Nyong'o gets to play a dual role. Doesn't get that much screen time in both of those roles, but I like what she does.
Yeah.
And like when she kills
Benny Safdie.
Yeah, Benny Safdie's character, it's just intense. Like it's really quick, but good performance.
Yeah. I know, I completely agree. I thought the casting was great. I thought it was fine. I didn't have any problems with that. Yeah, the only backlashes that I kind of like were privy to was the whole dialogue thing, which I do agree. Again, it was like a little jarring, but you can easily get past it. And then the wardrobe not necessarily being like accurate and like kind of not being good. But I thought the wardrobe was awesome. Honestly.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
I thought especially Agumon suit, that was super sick. I guess an example of like, well, besides it not being like accurate, an example of like someone like thinking it looks cheap is when we see John Bernthal's character talking to Tom Holland's character when they're shooting the arrows. How I heard people saying like, oh, it just looks like a shirt, which it definitely kind of did, but like it didn't take me out of it. It was like it wasn't even a thought for me. Like I was just like, oh yeah, that's what he's wearing. So those are the only kind of Backlash stuff that I heard, which it didn't diminish the movie for me. So
Yeah, same. What would you rate this movie?
I'm stuck between 4 and 5, honestly. I think initially I wanted to give it a 4, and then like thinking about it and like doing all my notes, I was like, oh no, I can give it a 5. And then thinking about it and doing all my notes, I was like, oh, maybe I should put it back down to 4, because of kind of like there are a couple things that I would be like, okay, I think that could definitely warrant maybe knocking it down. Oh, but I don't know. You give yours.
I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. It is an incredible movie. A thought that I had towards the end of it was, am I going to put this on to rewatch over different Christopher Nolan movies? Because like I would definitely much rather watch Interstellar again than watch the Odyssey again.
True.
Same thing with like Inception and stuff. So it is like an epic story, and they set a really good rhythm of like the Cyclops sequence, and then that's followed up with the giant sequence, right? And then
it intensifies.
Like there's a good rhythm of like intense stuff, dialogue stuff, but I feel like at a certain point in the movie, like toward, I guess, second act of the movie, a good middle chunk, it kind of slows down and there's less of that rhythm. But I don't know, it's kind of tough because like I could easily give this a 5. I'm going to stick with my initial thought and give it a 4.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the 4. And I think you bringing up the point of rewatchability is what's kind of pushing me towards the 4, because I did have that same thought like while we were watching it, like
it's kind of long.
It is long, but it's an epic story, and those kinds of movies they're like ones that you can definitely like watch maybe twice, kind of like in a short span, but then like it is just what it is, and then you leave it be and maybe revisit it like way later or something. At least for me.
And I also felt like this movie had way less like emotional moments, because like I did mention like when the hunting dog dies, like I kind of teared up a little bit at that. I feel like in comparison to like, again, like Interstellar like has multiple tear jerker moments throughout the whole movie. And this movie, I feel like the heart of the movie could have been a little bit more like expanded upon. But at the same time too, like, I can't really think of anything in the movie that like I would change. Aside from what we talked about with like the armor.
And to be fair, that is one thing.
Yeah, that is very true. So like, I can't think of 2 things that I'd want to change. Yeah.
I mean, maybe Anne Hathaway could have been topless in a scene or something. But
that would have been cool. Like Christopher Nolan did it with Florence Pugh. So
could have done it here.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe during like that bedroom scene, that was like intended, but Anne Hathaway didn't want to do it, and Christopher Nolan tried using like, well, Florence Pugh did it. She didn't complain or anything. But maybe Anne Hathaway was like, well, I'm not Florence Pugh.
Or even like Benny Safdie's character, maybe some like dong hangage before he gets stabbed in the throat.
That could have been interesting.
That would have been sick, honestly.
Yeah.
If I would have been able to see Benny's dong-a-doodle ding-dong, that would have been 5 easy, but I'm going to go 4, so.
Okay.
We're giving an 8 together, so.
Yeah. Do you have a deep cut fact?
I do.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, for my deep cut, Ludwig Gerson, right?
Mhm.
And Christopher Nolan, they used ancient Greek instruments for the score.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and you just said, "Oh yeah," so I guess you already knew. And
I did,
that,
yeah.
that
I
diminishes my
watched
deep cut.
I watched this whole like making of thing before we watched the movie, which didn't like spoil anything.
Mhm.
Other than just like I guess like behind the scenes stuff,
Mhm.
like that of seeing them. I don't remember what the name of it is. It's like the twin flute.
Yeah, it's an aulus, something like that.
Oh
and
yeah,
then,
yeah, Alos.
and then the lyre,
Hmm.
which is like a small harp,
Yeah.
and like 35 bronze gongs.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I like the mix of like the ancient instruments with like there is some modern like synth sounding, electronic elements and stuff. It all like meshed really well together.
yeah, and but yeah, I thought that was really cool, and that
Mhm.
was my discredited deep cut. About you?
Mine is all the extras for Odysseus's crew, at least like the ones for all like the ship scenes.
Mhm.
They actually had to learn how to row that boat because there's a real boat that they built for the movie that in order for it to get moving, they had to like actually row it. But similar to kind of what you see in the movie, like rowing that boat can be dangerous, like if not done properly, like it can launch someone or like uh, break someone's leg
Yeah.
or
Yeah, okay, I know what's it.
So
I thought I saw that right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So in order for the extras to be safe and everyone on board to be safe and stuff, they prior to filming they did like I think it was like a multiple week like basically like rowing camp where all the extras were there on the boat that they built learning how to row it. This way when they went to go shoot it, they could do it for real. So I thought that was sick. And a little honorable mention of a deep cut. There's a shot when Odysseus is like looking out and there's like some dolphins that breach.
Yeah.
Total accident.
Really?
Yeah, wasn't planned. Those aren't trained dolphins. Like it just happened. And
That's
they just
awesome.
caught it on film and then used it. So I thought that was cool.
That's awesome, yeah.
But yeah, so those are our deep cuts. Now to end this episode with some fun questions.
Fun question time.
Armand, would you rather be stuck on an island with Athena or Calypso?
Okay, yeah, that's for sure. Athena or Calypso? I think I would go Athena. I feel like that's the safer bet.
Mm-hmm.
If I would go Calypso, it would be awesome. And we'd probably be just doing drugs and and getting nasty the whole time, which would be awesome in its own right. But then I'm probably gonna be there for like 7 years, and
yeah,
I don't know if with Athena, it's just safer, probably more, just a healthier relationship.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to pick Athena because Calypso is prone to manipulation and lying and stuff, and all that stuff, imprisonment. Yeah,
You're a drug addict.
Yeah. Whereas Athena is, I feel like, going to be more honest with you, and
she just cries a little too much.
Yeah.
Trauma about knives around her neck or something.
Yeah. Not having a head or. What would you choose the Wi-Fi password to be for the Ithaca Palace if they had a Wi-Fi modem?
Well, first things, is it AT&T or Verizon?
Verizon.
Okay, so if it's Verizon, then I'd probably go with Daddy, Why'd You Die? But capital D and then Daddy, right? And then the letter Y, capital, but then you also with another Y, also capital, and you, capital D, die, and then end it with the 3 instead of an E.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's good.
In case there's hackers, it's still a solid password.
Yeah, that is actually a very solid password.
Yeah, and Daddy, While You Die is not only in reference of them thinking Odysseus might be dead and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But also, in the Bad Friends podcast, when Bobby Lee's father died,
Mhm.
him and Andrew Santino made a song
Called Daddy Why You
Why
Died.
You Died. And it's literally streaming. You can listen to it. Like,
It's hilarious. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good Wi-Fi password. Yeah.
Don't try to use it at my house because
Yeah.
then you'll get access to it. It's a high-speed internet with all kinds of porn spam. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if I can top that. And I'm assuming that would be Tom Holland's character set the Wi-Fi password in that context. Yeah. And I guess that would make sense too, because he would be the youngest and be more privy to
more hip
to how that stuff works.
Always on TikTok.
Yeah. I guess if I had to choose, it would be basically like Penelope, but it'd be like PNLP, like an abbreviated one. So yeah, PNLP for Penelope, and then MILF for you, like number 4, and then just the like maybe a capital U.
Nice.
So that's what everyone's there for.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of those suitors are there for. So
that was also Tom Holland using. He knows.
Yeah, he knows what they're there for. And then last question. If you were sealed in a wooden Trojan horse with a crew of, let's say, 5 people, who would you want to be sealed in there with? And all these people can be like fictional characters, or you don't have to pick like real people from your real life.
Okay, gotcha. So for my 5, the first one's gonna be Ditto, Pokemon.
Okay.
I figured they can keep me comfy.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch.
Okay. For what reason?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
And then we got Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow.
Okay.
And then Haley Steinfeld's Hawkeye girl.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And then Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique.
Okay, so I'm kind of noticing a trend. There's a lot of
high octane fighters.
I was going to say a lot of women that you're sealing yourself in this closed space with.
You can't really say Ditto's a woman, but
yeah,
I guess, to each his own, right?
To sort of reference the movie, if one of these people has to be at the very bottom of the horse that could potentially drown from the tide coming in, of these people, you're probably going to put Ditto down there.
You could, or actually, it might be better to do either Scarlet Witch, probably Scarlet Witch, because maybe she can do some, magic to help her breathe underwater. I don't think Mystique can do, like, say, Namor, like, take their power. It's just appearance, right? To breathe underwater.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Scarlet. So she could do some magic to help her breathe. I could do Ditto, but I want Ditto closer to me, so they can just be in like squishy form and I can be comfy, like in the horse.
Yeah, all right.
And then we get pulled in, and yeah, we're all in close proximity. Oh, it's a bunch of men, oopsies. I don't know what I'm grabbing. Oops, right? But that's just the nature of our mission. I have no control over that. And,
right. Okay.
And then we get into the city. That team of Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Hawk Girl, and Mystique. We are decimating anybody that comes into our path. We're unlocking that gate easy.
Yeah, I mean, with just Scarlet Witch alone, yeah, because I don't know how much Mystique is going to really be that much of an effect. Same with Black Widow, aside from punching people and
they're master assassins.
Yeah, that is true.
I bet you Odysseus fighting any one of them one-on-one, they'd lose. Maybe he'd beat Haley Steinfeld's Girl.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. There's a possibility he's a better marksman with a bow.
Yeah, but even then, he's not winning against any of these fools.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I picked those ones solely for their combat purposes.
Okay. Right. Right. It's nothing to do with them being women.
And Ditto can be anything.
That's true. That is true. So you have 2 shapeshifters on your team. Yeah. That
And all I need is 2
aren't
minutes.
going to be that helpful in a fight.
That would be great.
And you'd be trapped in there for days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Piss and shit.
Yep.
Let's go.
Who's first? Mine would be, in no particular order, Bruce Banner. Because he can be,
Small and fragile.
small, fragile form. And then once we're in the city, like Hulk smash, you can rage out.
Which is a funny thought because, like, in theory, he could probably just smash the gate from the outside.
Yeah. But it's all about catching them by surprise. Yeah, off guard.
Right, we have to do the sin thing so it cascades into everyone else.
And then probably Bugs Bunny. Just because I feel like he's kind of an agent of chaos, and I feel like he could probably cook up some fun stuff in relation to infiltrating the city and taking it down, and also just being stuck in the horse for a couple of days.
He's just making you guys laugh.
Yeah.
You give away that you're in there.
The dudes on like horseback show up, and they just hear muffled like, "What's up, Doc?" And multiple other people like chuckling and laughing and stuff. And then probably Sokka from Avatar: Last Airbender, because he's a good strategist and a pretty good warrior, especially if he has the meteorite sword. And then I'm probably going Legolas.
Nice. That's my boy.
Yeah, just to have an archer on our team. And then probably Ant-Man.
Now, I actually did think about him.
Save on space.
I almost put him on my list.
Yeah.
Right? I vibed for Mystique instead.
Because then he also, similar to Bruce Banner, he can go into Giant Man mode and really fuck up the city.
And again, could just destroy it from the outside.
Yeah. He could probably just go Giant Man, literally step over the gate.
Or even just go Ant-Man and literally just do the infiltration by himself.
Yeah, but the scenario is like you're gonna get sealed in this horse. We have this crazy portal. Name 5 people you want us to pull from this portal. But yeah,
who would be at the bottom?
Probably Sokka, because he's used to getting shit on and dunked on, and the short end of the stick. So I feel like getting into the horse, he'd probably be like, I got bottom right. Like,
make a joke about it.
Yeah, he would just assume.
Who would you cuddle up with when you're stuck in there?
Probably Bugs Bunny.
I knew you were furry.
Yeah, because that's actually the reason. Is like not because I'm a furry, but because he would be furry. So he's a nice little pillow.
He's just soaked in piss and shit.
Plus, I'm picturing it like he would be at the very top.
Oh, okay, keep it. So all his piss and shit is just
that would just fall on like my shoulder. But the good trade-off is he would have an infinite amount of like carrots to just pull out of nowhere. So whenever he does that, I could be like, "Hey, can I get a little nibble?"
Okay.
The
Roman's just here.
But yeah, so that kind of wraps up our review of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Fantastic movie. If you have the financial means and the convenient location to see this movie in IMAX,
go do it.
But also at the same time, if that's not within your budget or mile radius,
Just see the movie.
yeah, just see the movie. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
It was great.
It's epic.
It's fantastic. But yeah, thank you for bearing with us. This might be a long one. It was a long movie, so we tried to kind of shed light on everything.
Mhm.
But a lot to get through. So either way, it's a pleasure, no doubt.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, whether this was your first time or
The last time.
But yeah, thank you for joining us for this episode. Again, shout out to Max for stepping in and helping us make the show sound better. And if you made it this far into the episode, maybe drop a "Daddy, where are you?" in the comments, just so we can get a gauge for how long people are sticking around for episodes. And sorry for the fake out of us in the last episode saying we were going to talk about Spider-Man next, but we had to see this movie and we figured we'd put this one out before Spider-Man. So please join us next week where we will for sure talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Also starring Tom Holland and John Bernthal.
Damn.
And Zendaya.
Damn.
So
crazy. Back-to-back Zendies and Tom Hees and
John Bees.
Yeah, exactly.
But
You've been great. And we've been Deep Cut. Good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.